Use of iPhone 16 illegal in Indonesia, minister says. And in Tabanan, Operation Zebra has been running for 2 weeks. Well, it's actually over now. Finding 164 violations, 27 traffic accidents. This was supposed to stop traffic accidents. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is October 30th, 2024, and my name is Bruce. What is the weather like today? Well, very stable, very consistent. It is 30.8 degrees Celsius at 9:20 in the morning. So selamat pagi, not selamat siang, like usual. And the humidity, 66%. The wind speed is 12.4 kilometers per hour. And another sunny day. Not really many clouds in the sky. It did rain yesterday for about 10 minutes, and that was it. So still dry. And there are reports around the island now of villages without water, of fires breaking out in West Bali and over in other areas as well. And so looking for some rain to make things, well, a little easier for folks. But we'll talk more about that in a few days. There is just so much stuff to talk about, and no way to get this all in because I'm trying to keep this into 10 to 20 minutes, right? And so let's get started with the iPhones. Use of iPhone 16 illegal in Indonesia, minister says. The industry minister says Apple has yet to obtain certification for the iPhone 16 regarding its compliance with the government's local context TKDN rules to sell the device in the country. If any iPhone 16 is operating in Indonesia, I can say that it is illegal. Report it to us because we have not issued the distribution permit for the device, according to the industry minister. He said the ministry was still waiting for Apple to fulfill its commitment to invest 1.71 trillion rupiah, 113 million US dollars, in the country. According to Pak Agus, the United States giant tech has invested 1.48 trillion rupiah, which falls short of the amount deemed equivalent to meeting the 40% TKDN threshold. Moreover, Minister Agus emphasized that Indonesia has not issued an International Mobile Equipment Identity IMEI certification for Apple's latest device, so an iPhone 16 purchase abroad cannot be activated in the country. News that you might want to know if you're coming into Indonesia and you have an iPhone 16. The minister explained that only 3 institutions had the authority to issue IMEI numbers: the Industry Ministry, the Communications and Digital Ministry, and the Finance Ministry's Customs and Excise Directorate General. The IMEI, issued by the Communications Ministry, was a service pertaining to diplomats, he continued, and the IMEI numbers issued for the device by other institutions might raise legal issues. He reiterated, "We have not issued the distribution permit. As I said, Apple still needs to fulfill the commitment it agreed with us. Therefore, using the iPhone 16 in Indonesia is definitely illegal, and the IMEI is not authorized through government channels." In April 16, Agus said Apple had fulfilled an earlier 35% TKDN requirement by investing in local branches of its developer academies, adding that the government hoped the tech giant would develop a local manufacturing facility to bump up its investment to meet the current requirement of 40%. The academies were decided on as part of an agreement allowing the import of finished iPhones into the country. Apple has invested in the establishment of 4 developer academy branches so far. An Apple Developer Academy has been built in the South Tangerang and Banten, the East Java capital of Surabaya, and in Batam, in the Riau Islands. The company has announced a plan to build a 4th academy right here on Bali. Pak Agus said the government would encourage the tech giant to set up a research and development facility in addition to the developer academies. Asked about progress on its investment, Apple sent written response to the Jakarta Post that stated, we are deeply committed to Indonesia and excited to bring all of our latest products, including the iPhone 16 lineup, to our customers as soon as possible. The iPhone 16 has been released in dozens of countries since September. The device comes in 4 variants: the iPhone 16, the iPhone 16 Plus, the iPhone 16 Pro, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which range in price from $16.4 million to $33.4 million. Wow! And my Redmi cost me $2.7 million. Okay, and let's look at the traffic operation, which I reported on a couple of weeks ago, and it finished on the 27th. This is the 30th, done 3 days, and reports coming out now on the results of the operation. In Tabanan, Operation Zebra has been running for 2 weeks, found 164 violations and 27 accidents. Of the hundreds of violations, action has been taken in the form of sympathetic warnings to fines according to the level of violation committed. However, from the Zebra Agung operation for 2 weeks, it turned out that in the Tabanan police jurisdiction, there were 27 cases of traffic accidents that occurred, with details of 3 victims dying and 30 people suffering minor injuries. Tabanan Police Chief Chandrachitra Kusuma said the number of traffic accidents in Tabanan was quite high if we look at the data during the Zebra Agung operation, because out of the 27 accidents, 3 victims died. The accidents still predominantly occurred on the Denpasar-Gilimanuk route, and that can be really dangerous. I don't drive that one anymore. Last time I was there, a truck and a bus almost ran me over. According to him, the traffic accident factor on that road was caused by several things, according to data from the Zebra Agung operation, starting with traffic violations, the condition of human factors, and driving a vehicle that is not in fit condition. So I'm waiting to hear about Bulalang and some of the other regencies here and see how this worked out over the 2 weeks. No longer in operation, so I imagine there are going to be more people driving around not wearing helmets, with half a dozen people on their motorbikes and driving the wrong way, and all the other usual things. Traffic lights, red. When a traffic light turns green, if I'm in the front, I am very careful, because there are almost always people that keep going because, well, it just turned red a second ago, so I can just keep going. Okay, and so that is for traffic. And here's an interesting story for me as an anthropologist, and I studied archaeology as well. And we have some archaeology going on over in the island of Lombok. Dressed in sportwear, at least 25 primary school students made a morning excursion to the West Nusa Tenggara Public Museum in Mataram City, the province's capital, for a deep dig into history. Upon reaching the museum, Nara Sauzan Karima, 10, put on blue rubber gloves. Because of her tiny fingers, she found it hard to put on the adult-sized gloves, so she had to ask her mom for help. Nara and 24 other students from 7 schools in Lombok were participating in the Let's Learn Together Young Archaeologist activity. Yay! The activity was organized by NTB Museum in collaboration with the Indonesian Archaeologists Association, IAAI. For the activity, 6 square excavation boxes measuring 100 by 100 centimeters and filled with sand and coral were placed in a tent. The thickness of the boxes ranged between 20 and 30 centimeters. Several small archaeological objects were buried in the boxes. I did a project like this 30 years ago, over 30 years ago, a little different. The students were given simple excavation tools like plastic spatulas and brushes to excavate buried objects of historical and cultural value. Nara, a student from Public Elementary School SDN 5, joined other students in exploring the excavation box labeled E. The committee had divided the excavation area to allow students space to do the activity. Good idea. The process was slow, of course. The students were taught how to carefully brush off the sand layer by layer with the hope of unearthing archaeological objects or artifacts intact, that is, without damage. Nora, who is currently in the 4th grade, was assigned to the northern area of the site. However, she did not find any objects there, so she moved to the western area. There she found bones. Under the excavation box E, a jug of jewelry was found. Some students found fossils of coral reefs and seashells in another box. Some found black rice and charcoal. The discovery of human skeletons and jewelry indicated that the site was a prehistoric tomb. In ancient times, bodies were often buried with jewelry. Wealth was considered a provision to enter other realms. Gotta have money even in the afterlife. The discovery of coral reefs and seashells indicated that excavation area used to be a sea that dried up due to geological activities. Meanwhile, the discovery of black rice and charcoal indicated that the excavation area had burned or been buried by volcanic materials. With these discoveries, the young students learned about the profession of archaeologists, who play a big role in uncovering the history of past human civilizations. In fact, some, like Nora, expressed their interest in becoming archaeologists. The NTB Museum held the Young Archaeologist activity for 2 days on October 22nd and 23rd. First day was for elementary students, second day for junior high school students. The whole process lasted about 45 minutes and gave the children real insights into and a three-dimensional picture of excavating ancient relics. The items they found were arranged according to type and use. They also recorded their findings in detail on a sheet of paper. After the excavation was completed, each team was asked to present their findings in front of other participants. Then they were invited into the exhibition room to see the collection of ancient artifacts that are neatly stored at the NTB Museum. According to Paktifa, a biology and social science teacher from the elementary school in Matram, he said the learning method at school, which involves using textbooks or watching movies, does not shed much light on how archaeologists actually work in the field. By participating in the activity, young students got a good picture of an in-field excavation activity. They did not need to imagine the excavation process. They used their hands skillfully and patiently to scrape back layers of sand. When asked about their aspirations, most of the time children would say that they want to become doctors, police officers, soldiers, astronauts, and now influencers. Now, the Young Archaeologist activity has inspired them to become archaeologists. The IAAI recognizes the rich history and culture of Bali, West Nusa Tenggara, and East Nusa Tenggara, also known as the Lesser Sunda Island ecoregion. However, a number of archaeological researchers in this region is about 170. Many of them are now old, retired, and physically unable to conduct research. The Wallace Line, which is located in the Lombok Straits, separates the ecozones of Asia and Australia. Archaeologists have found ceramics, stoneware, pottery, and porcelain in the Lesser Sunda region that are believed to have been used in rituals in the past. The rich history and culture of the region provide great opportunities for archaeologists to conduct research and excavation. Now, the young aspiring archaeologists have raised hopes that research on both the prehistoric era and human history in the region will continue. Yeah, make some more archaeologists. I'm all in favor of that. Here's another education story. Ministry, only 1% of Indonesia's population holds doctoral degrees. So this 1% is approximately 77,753 individuals holding doctoral degrees, according to the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, and Technology. Director of Resources at the Directorate General of Higher Education, Research, and Technology, Pak Lukman, emphasized the need to increase the number of doctoral graduates, particularly among lecturers. We must intensify efforts to increase the number of lecturers getting doctoral degrees, he said. To address the issue, the government has implemented various scholarship programs, including the Education Fund Management Institute, LPDP, scholarship, and the Garuda ACE program. The latter is an international research training program focusing on fields like computer engineering, information technology, data science, electrical engineering, and telecommunications. It is open to undergraduates and postgraduate students. On the same occasion, Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science, and Technology, Stella Christie, highlighted the importance of human capital in driving economic development. She noted that the government's downstreaming initiative, which aims to add value to natural resources, relies heavily on scientific and technological advancements. To achieve this, we need not only tools and machines, but also superior human capital, she underlined. Therefore, Stella hopes that scholarship programs such as Garuda ACE will contribute to the development of a highly skilled workforce. And here's a story about Komodo National Park starting today, and the numbers are a little confusing for me, but I'm going to give you my best understanding of what's in this article. Komodo National Park entrance ticket prices increasing starting tomorrow. That's today. The story was from yesterday. Here are the details. The entrance fees to Komodo National Park have increased. The new entrance fee to Komodo National Park is effective today, according to the head of Komodo National Park Office, BTKN, Pak Hendrikus. The man, who is called Henki, explained that the new entrance ticket rates for Komodo National Park are regulated in Government Regulation PP number 36 of 2024, concerning the types and rates for types of non-tax state revenues applicable to the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. The PP was set on September 30th, 2024, or 3 weeks before the end of President Jokowi's administration. BTKN has socialized this to tourism actors and related stakeholders in the Labuan Bajo area. The previously applicable rates were regulated by Government Regulation number 12 of 2014. The increase in ticket price in Komodo National Park has been triggered by inflation over the last 10 years, since the enactment of number 12. The average inflation rate over the last 10 years, 3.65%, Pak Henki said. In the new rates, the entrance ticket to Komodo National Park includes forest exploration, trekking, observation of outdoor life, and snorkeling. In the old rates, the entrance ticket was calculated separately, namely the trekking ticket, $5,000, observation of outdoor life, $10,000, snorkeling, $15,000. The trekking, observation of outdoor life, and snorkeling tickets are optional for visitors to buy. Previously, each ticket was separate. Now it's made into one ticket. And this is where I get a little confused. Visitors or ships entering the Komodo National Park area without a ticket will be given administrative sanctions of a fine up to 5 times the normal rate. New rate details for Komodo National Park. Entrance ticket for foreign tourists. Entrance ticket per person per day, $250,000. The rate is the same for holidays and weekdays. Previously, the entrance ticket rate for foreign tourists to Komodo National Park was $225 for holidays and $150 for weekends or weekdays. That did not include trekking tickets, observation, outdoor life, and snorkeling, which, if purchased, total $30,000. Entrance ticket for domestic tourists. Entrance ticket for joint leave or religious holiday, $75,000 per person. Entrance ticket on weekdays, $50,000. This rate includes trekking, $5,000, observation of outdoor activities, $10,000, and snorkeling, $15,000. Previously, the domestic tourist entrance ticket was $7,500 on holidays and $5,000 on weekdays, so it's gone up. This did not include the trekking, outdoor observation, and snorkeling. Fishing tickets. Fishing tickets, sports fishing in Komodo National Park have increased to $5 million a day. Previously, fishing tickets were only $25,000. Wow. Videography and photography rates. Videography used for product advertisements, service advertisements, video clips, film, dramas, soap operas, FTV, web drama, reality shows, and the like. For foreign citizens, $20 million. Indonesian citizens, $10 million. Photography used for tour packages, magazines, product advertisements, service advertisements, and the like. Foreign nationals, $5 million. Indonesian citizens, $2 million. Pre-wedding video and photo rates. Foreigner package, $3 million. Indonesians, $1 million. Drone rates. Levies for drone use, flying activities in the area, $2 million per day. The previous video and photo rates. Commercial video, $10 million. Handycam, $1 million. Photos, $250,000. A number of ticket types will not experience any changes in rates. Diving, $25,000. Motorboat, 40 PK up to 100 PK, $100,000 a day. Motorboats over that, $150,000. Motorboats above 500, $200,000. Cruise ships for more than 50 passengers, $2 million unit day. Cruise ships 51 to 100 passengers, $4 million a day. Cruise ships 101 to 200 passengers, $8 million a day. Cruise ships 201 to 1,000 passengers, $15 million a day. And cruise ships 101,000 to 3,000, $30 million a day. And more than 3,000, $50 million a day. Now, where I got confused here was when they said this is included, it's one ticket, but then they still listed these separate prices for those 3 activities. So is it $250,000 a day including those 3, or is it $250,000 not including those? And if you add those 3 up, which are 30,000, that would be 280,000. So I'm not really sure on that. But if you're going to Komodo, or if you've just been to Komodo today and you happen to be viewing this, leave a comment. I'd like to know what the thing is really. This is what I'm reporting from the news. And that is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe, and I will see you next time.